Well, guys, the big news, of course, is that the president and first lady have tested positive for coronavirus. In any other time in history, this would be the craziest story of all time. In the year 2020, it's Friday. Seriously, when the news broke, 2020 was like, come on, you had to see this one coming. I actually didn't see this coming. Last night I went to bed thinking tonight's whole monologue would be about NASA calling off their mission to send a $23 million toilet to space.
What?
We had 300 jokes on that. Unlike the presidential debate, I hope people can learn from this. If the most powerful, most protected person on Earth can get COVID-19, anyone can. And no one should have to suffer through this horrible virus. But yeah, in the middle of the night, Trump confirmed the test results by tweeting, "Tonight, the First Lady and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together." He tweeted that around 1 a.m. Usually that'd make people panic, but for Trump, that actually shows he's feeling normal. Once the news broke, tons of well wishes poured in from leaders around the country. Some Democrats even meant them. Joe Biden tweeted, "Jill and I send our thoughts to President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump for a swift recovery. We will continue to pray for the health and safety of the president and his family." Trump was so touched. He was like, "That's sweet. Give him a like, but not a retweet." Of course, support for the president and the First Lady is also coming in from around the world.
Russia's Vladimir Putin wished President Trump well in a telegram, according to Russian state media. "I am certain your inherent vitality, good spirits, and optimism will help you cope with this dangerous virus," the telegram reportedly said.
Wait, a telegram?
Right.
What happened? Was the messenger pigeon in the shop? Putin was like, "Sorry, it's the closest thing we had to email." If it wasn't just a telegram, Putin also sent Trump a get-well edible arrangement. Of course, in Russia, edible arrangements are filled with rocks and expired beets. All of this information came out last night, but it wasn't the White House that broke the news. Listen to this.
It was not the White House that informed the American public or informed us reporters that Hope Hicks had tested positive for this virus. It was Jen Jacobs, a reporter at Bloomberg News.
Actually, Bob Woodward also knew, but he was saving the story for his next book in 8 months. When it comes to keeping secrets, the White House is worse than the Big Brother house. Luckily, some people in Trump's inner circle are okay.
Vice President Pence and the Second Lady Karen Pence have tested negative this morning. That's according to their press secretary. Obviously, they were quite concerned.
That's right. Mike Pence got tested. For the nurse, it was like sticking a cotton swab up a giant cotton swab. Yeah, it was a roller coaster of a day for Pence. Here he is when he found out he might have been exposed to the virus. And here he is celebrating that he's completely fine. Meanwhile, all this news is leading to questions about the next presidential debate.
Will the next presidential debate even happen? It's supposed to be in 13 days. If you've tested positive for COVID, you're supposed to isolate at least 10 days after the symptoms first appear.
Yep, the debate could be postponed, not because of the coronavirus, just because no one wants to moderate it. Mitch McConnell even floated the idea of holding a virtual debate. That should be good. They couldn't stop interrupting each other in person. Now they're going to try it over Zoom? Can we leave the meeting? Let's change gears here. Today, I saw that a New York staple is returning tomorrow after a 6-month absence.
Horse-drawn carriages are returning to Central Park on Saturday. Carriage drivers held a news conference in the park. Rides were halted in March when non-essential businesses were closed.
Good news is everyone agrees that masks are good when you're sitting right behind a horse. New York's a lot different than it was 6 months ago. For $50, you can hitch a ride around the park or buy a 2-bedroom apartment. It's been a weird time for the horses, too, because the past 6 months they've been working over Zoom. And finally, I saw that Brock's is now selling candy corn that tastes like Thanksgiving dinner with flavors like green bean, turkey, and stuffing. Hey, don't knock it till you spit it out. If that was the vaccine for coronavirus, people still wouldn't eat them. At this point, 2020 is just rubbing it in.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on.